r/ask Reddit. What show never declined in quality? Band of Brothers. You know the rules, everyone. You see someone mention Band of Brothers, you rewatch Band of Brothers. We fall upon the risers, we fall upon the grass. We never land upon our feet, we always hit our ass. Heidi, Heidi, Christ almighty, who the hell are we? Zim zam, goddamn, we're airborne infantry. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Black Books. It was Friday night last week, it'll be Friday night next week, and every week until we're dead, and even then the whole rotten business will go on and on and on. Fun fact, I almost lost my job at a bookstore because I copied the on-phone sticky note move from the pilot episode with a rude customer. I spent 7 years at that store. Black Book spoke to my crushed retail soul. Blackadder. I dearly wish there were more seasons, but on the other hand, I'd be worried that the quality might not be as high. However, I will always try to have a cutting plan ready. The In-Betweeners, if you don't count the shitty American remake. Edit, or the movies either. Father Ted. Only 3 series made, but I can rewatch it endlessly and still find it hilarious. Edit. All these replies have me cracking up. I'll have to watch the set again. Thank you for the laughs. TV Perfection. Not a thing I'd change in any of it. The recent documentary they did when Jim Norton, Brennan, says he never actually watched the infamous kicking episode because he laughed so hard when they were actually filming that episode, he could never watch it because he misses his friend so much, nearly killed me. The Twilight Zone. I mean the original series, not the reboots. The writing on that show was always superb, largely in part because of Rod Serling, who wrote 99 out of the 156 episodes. My favorite line. It may be said with a degree of assurance that not everything that meets the eye is as it appears. You're on a scenic route through a state recreational area known as the human mind. You ask a passerby for directions, only to find he has no face or something. Suddenly, up ahead, a door in the road. You swerve, narrowly avoiding the scary door. That is my all-time favorite show. I'm American, so I used to watch the multi-day marathons some channels would air every year. I never stayed up the entire time, but trying to was fun as hell. My husband, who's from the UK, didn't have the same experience growing up, so it means something different for me than it does for him. I think the show encapsulates what is both good and bad about America. Batman Beyond. It's a shame we haven't had new episodes since 2001. I loved that show. Wasn't afraid to try new ideas and explore its new Batman. Couple some great writing with some utterly fantastic art, not to mention some incredibly uncommon music for a kids show, Industrial, and you have an unforgettable show. The Dick Van Dyke Show not only held up over its run, but barely seems dated by anything but its technology today. Jeopardy with Alex Trebek. So consistent. Most people here have never been in a world without Alex on Jeopardy. Started hosting in 1984. Fawlty Towers. 12 episodes. Perfect. Pushing Daisies didn't get a chance to, but I like to think it wouldn't have. Just about every Brian Fuller show needs to be on here. My personal favorite is Dead Like Me. That show had so much potential. The Golden Girls. At first I thought you were a slut and wore too much makeup. I was wrong. You don't wear too much makeup. I'll get the camera. I'll get the whipped cream. Oh, where'd it go? It's in my room. I'll go get it. Oh, and the camera too. Late 80s, me and my grandma in the kitchen at 2 a.m. drinking tea, playing cards, and watching Golden Girls reruns on the little 13-inch TV she had in her kitchen. So many great memories, and the show holds up really well to this day. King of the Hill had a high standard of quality almost throughout its entire run. Almost. It was more individual episodes I didn't like in later seasons as opposed to the entire seasons. Joseph Gribble being redrawn as permanently aging, they pulled it off okay. The one permanent character added on later I didn't like was Lucky. He just wasn't funny, and his slip on some PP lawsuit story wasn't that good in my opinion. Fleabag. Season 1 was great. Season 2 was perfection. Avatar: The Last Airbender. It actually significantly improved in quality as it went along, linearly, all the way up to the end. Tales of Ba Sing Se and Zuko alone are probably some of the greatest episodes in television history. Appa's Lost Days just hit different, man. Yo, that one episode has stuck with me throughout the years, even convinced me to start volunteering at animal shelters when I was younger. I love that they gave every character a story and room to develop, and didn't hold back from showing the ugly side of the world. Yep. Tom and Jerry. The original series. The newer ones are pure garbage. Freaks and Geeks. Every time I watch it, I lament over there only being one season. I actually think it perfectly sums up that part of life. It ends on a cliffhanger because life goes on, but we always look back on those years like we never had enough time, that there was more we could have done, more stories to tell. Very bittersweet and almost poignant that it ended in the manner it did. Avatar: The Last Airbender and Clone Wars are the holy grail of animated shows that improve over time. Mr. Bean. Did you know Mr. Bean only had like 15 episodes, yet it felt like seasons because it was so good? There were movies, too. The It Crowd. It was funny the whole way through. The Work Outing, Season 2, Episode 1. Gay musical called Gay. That's gay. This whole episode is very funny. If you haven't seen it, it's a must. The bit when Jen goes to buy Roy a drink and finds Moss behind the counter might be one of the finest examples of comedic timing I have seen. Malcolm in the Middle. It just gets better and better. Seems like everything Bryan Cranston is a part of is amazing. Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls got better and better, but that finale just put things into the stratosphere for me. One of the best show finales I've ever seen, to be honest. Edit. Hot take. However Rick and Morty end up ending, it won't be as good as Gravity Falls. Edit 2. Dan Harmon is a million times better writer than me, so I also won't be surprised if he ties it up all nice. I don't know, the finale was good, but spoilers, Grunkle Stan 100% getting his memory back was kinda eh. The fan in me loved it. The story lover in me didn't like it. It felt like kind of a cop-out. Bill should have immediately returned if Stan remembered him. He was destroyed in the same way Stan's memories were destroyed. I'm not hung up over it, though. If any show deserves its happy ending, it's this one. I still can't say the finale was the best either when Not What He Seems in the subsequent episode with the Pines twins exist. I always enjoy the bad puns like chimichanga, more like chimichuck it in the bin, or crab cakes, more like crap cakes. Then he looks at the camera with this dorky smile like he thinks he just cracked the funniest joke ever. When you get that new job at the factory, regrets. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a great rest of your day.